Good day everyone, I am Lovely Joy Ambasing, a BSAC 1 student, and I will be going to be your acting teacher for today's video discussion about intercultural communication. So let's start. This is one of the most popular movie of all time, The Three Idiots. And guess which country was this movie originally came from? Yes, you're right, it is in India. So welcome to India. This picture is the flag of the India, and this picture is the Taj Mahal, which is the most commonly visited place in India. And this photo here is the photos of the Indian people celebrating their festival dance, and as you can see, it is very colorful and unique. That is why India is so called to be the land of mystery and diversity. To give you more information about the India country, I will going to give you a brief background of it. So, India has one of the largest population in the world, and the ethnicities of India can be broken down into two main groups, which is known the Indo-Aryan and the Dravidian. So, when we talk about Indo-Aryan, many people belonging to this group live in the northern half of the country, and the commonly spoken language includes Hindi, Gujarati, Bengali, the Marathi, Urdu, Odia, and the Punjabi. Meanwhile, people belonging to Dravidian lives in the southern half of the country, and the commonly spoken language there is the Tamil, the Kannada, Telugu, and Malayalam. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to pronounce. So let's move on. So the intended learning outcome will be the greetings, visiting, eating, naming, language, religion, etiquette, conservativeness, collectivism, and adaptability, which comprises the communication modes, practices, and styles, both the verbal and nonverbal cues of the Indian people. So number 1 is the greetings. So when the Indian people greet, more specifically the Hindu people, they say namaste, which means I greet the divine within you. So this is their common greeting. As you can see here in the picture, the girl is pressing her palms together with the fingertips facing upwards, just like this in a prayer position. And it is commonly accompanied with a slightly bow. However, in India, they do not usually do the hug or kiss greeting because they are known to be conservative people. So next, number 2 will be the visiting. So Indians are generally exceptionally hospitable and take great pride in this characteristic. Same is true with the Filipino people. We are known to be hospitable. So do Indians. So in India, when you visit their home, or one of the Indian counterpart visit the home of their friends or relatives, just like that, it is common for them to be offered a cup of chai. This chai means the spiced tea. Okay, this is the chai, and this picture, and um, usually when you visit someone's home in India, you needed to remove your shoes before entering someone's home. There is often an expectation that the guest will accept what is offered, especially chai, and if you refuse something, it may be seen as a token protest made out of politeness. This kind of practice in India has similarity in our ethnic tribe, which is in Kalinga. Yes, I am from Kalinga, and we we usually show how hospitable we are through offering a cup of coffee. It is not a cup of chai, but is a coffee, a barak coffee. And if you refuse it, it would be mean that you are impolite, just like in India. So, next, if you wish to leave someone's home, it is considered polite and respectful to ask permission to leave. Yes, same is true here in the Philippines, because when you live or when you visit someone's home and you just leave without even saying a word, you will be thought of as a dog just passing by without even saying a word or without even saying goodbye, because and this would be mean that you are an undisciplined person, just like in India too. So next would be number 3, eating. There are various forms of eating etiquette relating to the use of one's hands. Yes, in India, um, they are only using their right hand in serving or in scooping foods, because when they use their left hand, it is not it is not appropriate, because for them the left hand is considered to be dirty, because since it is usually used for washing themselves. That is why. So as you can see here in the picture, they are using their right hand. And just like the Filipino people, they are using their hands in eating, but but not most naman. Yeah. And Indian food often does not require utensils to eat. Okay, most Indian people love foods much spicier. However, some Indians may have dietary restrictions based on their religious faith. Why? Because some of the Indian, specifically the Muslim, who has a religion of Muslim, they do not consume pork, because for them, pork is also dirty, is considered to be dirty, because evil spirit is living in in the body of pigs. And while for many Hindus, one of the ethnicity in India, the Hindu, cows have sacred religious connotations, and the consumption of beef will be avoided. Yes, and as you can see here in the picture, they are taking care of the cow by putting some designs, the flowers, yes. And next, because for them, cows is sacred, are sacred, I mean. So number 4, naming. Naming conventions vary based upon an individual's religion and region of origin within India. So as I have said earlier, the Indian people may or can be categorized into two major group, which is the people who live in the northern part of India, Indo-Aryan, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and those people living in the southern India is the Dravidian. So in northern India, they follow English-speaking Western naming conventions by having a given name followed by a surname. While in the southern India, this is not necessarily in the case in southern India because people may adopt a surname out of necessity. So it is common for an individual's surnames to reflect their community, family, caste, or village of origin. Yes, it is true because according to my research in India, they have the caste system, which is which in this caste system you will able to know the you will able to identify a person by its um by its occupation and yeah, occupation. So example, a name with the suffix wala loosely means the trade one's ancestors practice. For example, chai wala roughly means someone who makes chai, spice tea. So yeah, this they are using their name according to to the ancestors practiced, to the practice of their ancestors. Just like here, when someone someone's family is making a spice tea or the chai, they will be identified as those people who whose occupation is to make chaiwala their because of the suffix added in their name. Another example is the guru, which means in India a teacher or an expert. When guru is the suffix guru is added to your name, then eventually you'll be identified as a teacher or an expert. And in India also, they address their father as Baba. But here in the Philippines, we usually address our father as Papa. But in India, they say Baba. Baba Lu. Baba. Baba. It's only Baba. Okay, next. Number 5, language. There is a vast linguistic diversity accounting for 22 major languages and hundreds of regional or local languages. Same story here in the Philippines. We usually have a lot of languages, spoken languages, not only not only 5, not only 10, but 100. So, yeah, there is 41.03%. Generally, the most commonly used language in India is the Hindu, which has 41.03% among other language according to the Census 2001. So most Indians tend to be bilingual or multilingual, speaking an official language along with their regional language. It is same true here in the Philippines because, and to take an example, I will set myself as an example na lang. Just like me, I considered myself as bilingual or multilingual because I can speak more than one language, which includes Ilocano, Kalinga, and a lot more Kalinga native languages, Tagalog, and sometimes Itawes, Bachar. Just like that. And next, English is considered to be a subsidiary official language that is often reserved for governmental and commercial purposes. Yes, I think it is in this is practice in almost of the countries in the universe. because English is known to be our lingua franca, the most commonly used language within or in the world or among the countries. So, people who do not share a common first or native language will generally communicate in either Hindu or English. Same is true here in the Philippines because our national language is Filipino, while in India their national language is Hindi, and but they speaks or they spoken a lot of local languages or native languages or known to be the first languages. The Hindi or the English is only their second language in which they uses this for 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 communicating the people with the people. Yeah. Next, number 6 is the religion. So majority of people in India identify as Hindu. As I have said earlier, majority of them are Hindu with 79.8%. Thus majority of them followed Hinduism as their religion, of course. It is common to find images of gods and goddesses in public and private spaces at all times of the year. And this picture is the so-called Ganesh in India, which is the elephant-headed gods. They considered this as their god, and it is believed that this god remove their obstacles. But in my own opinion, I think worshiping other gods and goddesses except our Almighty God, which is our Father in heaven, is a sin. But I am not putting down anyone's culture or tradition. I'm just sharing my idea and opinion. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic. Number 7, etiquette. Indians typically have a relaxed approach towards timekeeping and punctuality. Just same is true again here in the Philippines, but slight differences because we people are known to have the Filipino time in which we are usually late and in arriving after the designated time. But in India, but in India, ay oo, hindi ko pa pala nalagay ito. Okay, but in India, have relax. But in India, it is normal for them to be late. For example, they arrive 30 minutes late in an event or in let's say for example birthday. It is normal for them to do that practice. However, in the business appointments or visiting a doctor, they need to be punctual at all times. Not just like here in the Philippines, that even in business appointments or visiting a doctor, we will get late. Okay, next. Okay, here. The basic etiquette in India is that, as you can see here in the picture, this is the head, and it says no, which means the top of the head is considered to be the most important part of the human body. So touching the head of the Indian counterpart is considered rude and insensitive. Another one, feet are thought to be the dirtiest part of the body. And next, to show the utmost respect towards a religious leader, you need to touch their feet. Yeah, by touching their feet, you are giving your utmost respect towards your elders. While here in the Philippines, we usually do the mano po, which means putting the hand of our elders in our forehead. So here I'm sorry I didn't put the right picture in here, but yeah, it says never sit higher than an elder. Because if you sit higher than an elder, then definitely you are not showing respect to them. Next, okay, we are almost done with this discussion, so bear with me. Number 8 is the conservativeness. I have said a while back, Indians are known to be conservative. Indians tend to be quite conservative in most aspects of life, particularly in rural areas. And so many will avoid speaking loudly or using excessive hand gesture. So to put it in a Filipino word, Indian people are known to be mahinhin or modest, yes. And it is also preferable to wear clothing that covers the arms and legs, and very few people wear revealing clothing, yes, was especially in the rural area of the Indian of India. As you can see here in the picture, they are all covered up with a clothing, but fortunately it is okay because it's colorful, it's very colorful. However, if I imagine it clothing using this clothing no, using this clothing, I cannot bear it because here in the Philippines it's so hot. It's very hot here. It's very hot. We have a warmer temperature here in the Philippines. So as you can see here in the picture, the traditional clothing of the India is like this. They are all covered up. Usually those people using this clothing is from the rural or the Dravidian, came from the southern part of India. However, some Indian people uses modern clothing influenced influenced by the Western style, just like this. Um, Somehow they are using some revealing clothes, just like this. But as I have said, only very few people wear revealing clothing in India. You can only see few people wearing this kind of clothing. Next, okay, number 9, collectivism. Indians generally place a high value on harmony and unity with others. So it is also the same here in the Philippines. We have the same or common value. We value pagkakaisa in Tagalog, unity in English. Char. So as you can see in the picture, different types of people from diverse cultures putting their hands together, which symbolizes unity, as they're saying, one among many. Okay, number 10, finally, number 10, adaptability. So problems are usually managed in a cheerful, cooperative, and innovative manner. So adaptability and collectivism have similarities but with slight differences. Because when we talk about adaptability, it is the problems that you are going to solve together with the people. For example, strangers readily help others during mundane tasks such as looking for directions or parking a vehicle. So when you have an Indian counterpart, or I mean, if you are a tourist in India and you get lost, Indian people will usually help you by giving by showing you the right directions. Yes. And I'm sorry if I didn't put picture in here because just imagine it that an Indian people helping a Filipino tourist to find the right direction. Okay. So that would be all. Thank you for watching, and I hope you learned something into this video discussion. So keep safe and God bless everyone. Goodbye.